wrote that the Allied forces in Persia and Iraq were singularly unsuccessful at catching and holding the limelight. American servicemen dispatched there in their tens of thousands put it more bluntly, referring to themselves as the FBI, the forgotten bastards of Iran. Despite its minor billing in subsequent histories, at the time the region was considered vital by the British because of its oil. It was ranked second only to the British Isles themselves by Winston Churchill and the Chiefs of Staff during the crucial months of 1941 to 42, when the war hung in the balance. Iran attracted the attention of Franklin D. Roosevelt and Joseph Stalin too, because of its potential as a land bridge over which military aid could flow from the Anglo-American powers to their Soviet ally. The war brought numerous conflicts across the region to a dramatic head. Arab nationalists saw an opportunity to rise up and depose their European masters, and Britain and Iraq, erstwhile allies, turned their guns on each other. Iranian and Iraqi elites vied for power within their states that faced uprisings from regional ethno-nationalists wishing to secede. Britain and the Soviet Union prepared for war with each other before becoming allies and jointly invading Iran, and Allied forces fought their Axis foes, including the Vichy French, through both covert and overt means. For the British, the region had to be defended because of its oil, and through the fog of war, London descried a new moment in the Middle East, an historic opportunity to flesh out its territorial claims across the great arc from Suez to the headwaters of the Persian Gulf. What transpired was an impressive last hurrah of British imperialism before its precipitate post-war decline. As well as heralding a new era of Soviet assertiveness, the war brought American political, economic, and military power to the region in an unprecedented manner. Though the arrival of American troops and Lend-Lease largesse indicated the potency of the Grand Alliance, it also meant that American-Soviet competition was grafted onto the pre-existing Anglo-Soviet tensions, and that Anglo-American disagreements regarding the region's future would become manifest. Thus, while the region became a unique arena of Allied cooperation, it simultaneously became a debut stage for the Cold War, and a point of contention between competing Anglo-American visions of the post-war world. In addition to the strategies and military endeavors of these external great powers, the following chapters chronicle the encounters between the people of Iran and Iraq and the American, British, German, Indian, Polish, Nepalese, and Soviet civilians and military personnel deposited there by the tides of global conflict. The sheer weight of Allied activity and the wider ramifications of a deeply penetrative global conflict sucked ordinary people into the maelstrom of war, harming their economic well-being and transforming the political landscape of their countries. What is more, the war profoundly shaped the political trajectory of both countries, laying the foundations for the rise of the Ba'athist state in Iraq and heralding the reign of Shah Muhammad Reza Pahlavi in Iran, following his father's dramatic abdication in the wake of an Anglo-Soviet invasion. Persian Gulf Command tells of the travails of state development in Iran and Iraq, of diplomacy, strategy, and the age-old contest between imperialism and nationalism. It is a story of invasions, coup d'etat, logistics, scorched earth, covert operations and warfare on land and in the air, set against the backdrop of societies blighted by the effects of war. These included runaway inflation, food shortages, rationing, friction between occupying forces and civilians, and the migration of refugees. The story begins with the interwar evolution of the Iranian and Iraqi states, the former under the Qajar dynasty, the latter